Well, hello. This is Apostle and Prophet Tate and Success Coach. And we're here to do another exciting broadcast today, and inviting all those that would come in today, and even you that's watching on YouTube. We just thank God for you. And I'm just elated to be able to bring this here to you. And as those that will join today, we have some exciting points and some exciting things to make for you. I tell y'all, this is a very exciting time. It's an exciting time in ministry, the business world, in career. It's a time that you can actually capitalize on those things that you do. Amen. Yeah. And I just want today to be able to bring you an exciting message. I'll wait on those. And some of the things that I want to teach today is very important, because as we are on this journey of success and we're reaching for success, I simply believe that we are in one of the greatest times in history. Yeah, I believe that. Yes, I do. I really believe it. So we just want you to just kind of like tune in and listen to as we teach this here today. And all you that will be watching this afterwards, whether it's on Facebook Live or YouTube, we're going to give you some very awesome principles. Amen. All right. Okay. One of the things I really want to talk to you today is about the principle of adding value. Adding value. Adding value. We talked about knowing how the law of relationship. We talked about the law of communication. We talked about the law of decision making. We talked about, the law of taking action. Now I want to talk about the law of adding value. Adding value. Now, the first place we add value to should be our own life. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach this today, and I'm going to talk to you today. And because one of the things I believe that we need to really grow to a place where we become valuable. You need to be valuable at your company. You need to be valuable in your business, valuable in your ministry. Y'all see that? You need to be valuable. Now, and I simply believe that there are many of you that will add value to even other people's life. So let's talk about that today. Let's talk about how we add value. How to add value. See, I'm not one to just tell you to do it, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I want to show you how to add value to your life first. Now, one of the things that in self-help, self-improvement, and even as we believe, even in believing that God will help us to improve some. Now, one of the things is that it's always effort. Many people in church, they always want to put it all off on God. And they don't want to take an initiative, and they don't want to take responsibility of their own life. Truth of the matter is, if you're going to enhance other people's life, you have to be able to add value to yourself first. Now, how we add value to our life is, number one, every day we got to look at how we're going to improve ourselves. How we're going to improve ourselves. And that improving yourself is many different things. And because there's a lot of people that want things, and they want to do things. They want to have this, have that. They want a company. They want a business. They want a ministry. But in reality, how much value do you have? Because remember, all these things here relates to people. How much value will you be able to give, to bring to other people? How will you make them valuable? Now, if you're not valuable, you cannot make other people valuable. Now, how do I make myself valuable? I make myself valuable, number one, is by enhancing my philosophy. My philosophy is my it's my knowledge of something. It's the more I create and the more I research and the more knowledge that I have. My philosophy. It's philosophy. It's not in vain, but philosophy. Everything has a philosophy. The kingdom of God has a philosophy. Everything has a philosophy. Every kind of business has a philosophy. There's a theory and there's a way in which it is where it is operated, and you got to get all the components and understand everything that you got to put together if you're going to have a successful ministry, successful business, and all that. And you can succeed in all of it. You can have success in all of it. You know, whether it's your own company, whether it's a small business, whether it's a ministry, I don't care what it is. You can succeed. But the first step and to add value to yourself is that you have to basically, God bless y'all, you have to basically add value to you. See, because you can't add value to another person's life. You can't add value to a company if you're not valuable. So now let's see how to make ourselves valuable. We said number one, we got to go through, understand the philosophy of how what I'm trying to do, how do it work? See, how do it work? How do it work? I need the knowledge. The philosophy is getting the knowledge of something. You know, just like when people want to lose weight, it's a philosophy behind it. It's a knowledge. Now, the Bible says this here. It talks about knowledge. In a house that is well built, it is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So I have to get the philosophy of what it is that I'm trying to do. I got to get the knowledge. Y'all see that? Now, we always tell you that in that the scripture said that when people lack knowledge, they perish. You know what I'm saying? Well, they lack vision, which is revelation. But he said people perish because they lack knowledge. Knowledge is the first thing. And you can't be lazy. In this day and time, knowledge is very easy to get. It's not a hard thing to come by. But the problem is most people don't want to put the work in. They want to lay everything off on God. Say, well, God's going to put my business together. God's going to do this here. Or they say, I got somebody that's going to do it for me. Friend, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing wrong with somebody helping you. But one of the best things that I learned in life is that you learn how to do what you do for yourself. Do y'all hear me? And there's no excuse now. With all of the information and with all of the things that is available to us, there is no reason why you cannot gather the philosophy or the knowledge to do what you need to do. You got to build a philosophy. I know even success, you got to understand the philosophy. I need the knowledge of what it's going to take me to succeed. So as we teach these success principles, and as we teach these success principles, it's going to be up to you to learn them. It's going to be up to you. That's why I make these videos now. I'm able to put them on YouTube and everything. Now I told you we was going to be starting YouTube. We started a YouTube channel, just simply Eddie Tate, and some of the subjects, you'll see on there the law of what I've been teaching. Like today I'm teaching on the law of adding value. That's the law of value, the law of value. You got to understand now. Now, as you begin to get valuable, then you'll be able to get to the point to enhance other people. See, so I have to be able to learn the philosophy of what it's going to take. See, and I know a lot of folks like to come to church, jump and shout, run up down the aisles, kick over chairs and stuff. But many of them don't understand the philosophy of even how the kingdom works. They don't have knowledge of the kingdom. And it's a bad thing because you got one of the most powerful systems living inside of you. You got an edge on the world. You have an anointing on you. You have the Holy Spirit. You have the kingdom living in you. And most people don't understand that alone makes you very valuable. I know we take it for granted because we don't want to do is come to church and jump and shout, but that makes you more valuable. When you are a kingdom citizen, you are filled with God's power. You're filled with God's wisdom. You're filled with understanding. Do y'all hear me? Yes. Yes. So now, we must understand that if I'm going to add value to myself, okay, I've got to get knowledge. And how do I get knowledge? I get knowledge by reading. I get knowledge by listening to seminars and programs that is filled with information that will help me get to where I need to get to. If you're trying to start a certain type of business, you need to add value to yourself. Because what you're doing is you're opening up a business so you can add value to other people's life. Y'all see that value. Become valuable. Become an asset, not a liability. Don't want a job just to get a check. Find a job that you're going to have passion for if you're going to work. Or if you're going to be an entrepreneur, find something that you have passion for. As an entrepreneur, I love speaking. I speak. That's one of the facets of my entrepreneurship. It's by speaking to people, whether it be through seminars, whether it be through in conferences, revivals, whether it be through any type of way of motivational seminars and all type of courses or whatever that God might give me to do in the future of teaching people. Because what I want to do is I want to add value to people, but I can't add value to people until I add value to myself. I have to become valuable. Do y'all see that? I have to become valuable. You're going to have to become valuable. See, you got to become valuable because, share this, in business, you're going to deal with people. And your thing is to bring value to people's life or what they do. So now, when I think about value, anything that is valuable, it has been invested in. Y'all see that? It has been invested in. Anything that has become valuable has been invested in. I heard a man once say that if you want a good marriage with your wife, invest in her. Invest in her. And he went on to say that sometimes you have to invest in her. Sometimes you got to buy cards, candy and stuff, and flowers for no special reason. Just to the fact that you love her. And as you start to invest, or even buy a gift, buy nice things, and what you got to invest to communicate with her. Make an investment. Y'all see that? Investment. Okay. So now, as we begin to really understand bringing value to ourselves, I've got to spend the time. I got to put the work in. Number one, I got to put the work in change in me. If I understand that I have bad habits that are holding me back from success, I have to change it. And I can't be hollering at God in the sky, asking him to do it. I need to find out what I need to do. Number one, I need to change my mind, my way of thinking. I have to think different. I have to think different. In Proverbs 23:7, it says, so is a man thinking in his heart, so is he. We talked about the law, of thinking. You have to learn how to think. And you have to actually think. Now, it is what you think about yourself is important. Some people say, oh, that's just arrogance. No. You're supposed to think. The Bible says not think more highly of yourself. That gets into being pride. See that? That gets into being pride. But sometimes you got to think about you. And you have to think about the type of person that you want to be. that you would have to add value to you. Okay, what do I need to add to me? Do I got a short fuse temper? I got to get rid of it. Because I can't have that in business. I can't be flaring up at folks. I'll lose contracts. I'll lose clients. I can't have that in ministry. I'll run folks off from my ministry. Y'all see that? I can't even in my career. I'll lose ground and allow to get fired. So if I see this as a problem, the more I take off of me that's negative, the more valuable I get. That's another principle. It's deleting all of this destructive stuff that is around you. Deleting all of the destructive stuff. Anybody hear me? Yes, deleting it. Getting rid of it. Hit the delete button. Because that's going to hold you down. Even the Bible says, let us lay aside every weight and sin that so easily beset us. That word beset means to take out of position. See, everything you do from a position. I'm sitting right now. I'm not standing. So what happens is this here, is that when we get put out of position, that means that we cannot function in the way we need to function. Do y'all hear me right now? So now, as we begin to understand just what it means to be valuable. See, when you are valuable, good to see you, Onish. It's good to be valuable. When you're valuable, you become an asset. Are y'all hearing me? I said you become an asset. You become an asset when you become valuable. Do y'all see that? When you become valuable, you become an asset. Now, I want you to understand something. Is that when you're an asset, that means that you give rather than always taking. Liabilities take. And you don't want to be no liability in any relationship. You want to be an asset. You want to be to a place to where you make a company, you add value to a company. But I can't add value to nothing if I don't add value to myself. So now is the way that the law of it, extending. You got to extend yourself. You can't see yourself high, but you cannot see yourself low. You got to see yourself as valuable. Do this make sense? I said you got to see yourself valuable. Now I want you to understand that you have to see yourself valuable. Now, as we begin to really understand just where we are, understand the nature of things that we are doing, and understand that with what we are working with, see what you're working with, see where you are. Don't look at nobody else. No, don't look at nobody else but you. It's time to put focus on yourself, because the more focus you put on you, the more valuable you're going to become. Because the more mess you get off you, the more valuable you become. The more you'll be able to be effective in doing what you need to do. Do y'all see that? If you're an entrepreneur and you have bad habits with time, that's going to be a problem. Y'all see that? Anything. If you have a career and you're always late, that's going to be a problem. So what we have to do is we have to eliminate a lot of these things that devalue us. Now, the next part is my mind has to be right. My mind has to be right. My mind has to be valuable. When I have a valuable mind, that means that I have a mind that is functional. That means that my thoughts have been lined up with positive principles. And so when I make decisions, it is based on the information that I have stored up. And that's why you make your decisions from. From out the realm of your subconscious, you make your decisions. I know sometimes you can make a conscious decision. Some people say, well, I made a conscious decision to eat better. And it lasted for a little bit. And then the next few days, you were back eating the same stuff. You know why? Because your subconscious had not been changed. Do y'all see that? No, your subconscious had not been changed. Your subconscious is your automatic decision maker. I'm going to say that again. Your subconscious is your automatic decision maker. Now, I want you to get something. See, we are in a day now to where a lot of things that we do, we're going to have to add more value to ourselves. Business, ministry, I don't care what it is. Now, when I add value to myself, I also begin to add excellence to myself. Excellence. Excellence means to do something to the highest level that you do, that you can. Don't halfway do anything. You're going to have a church. Don't have you and your wife or you and your husband pitch all crooked on the program and, and all that stuff. I mean, let me share this with you. Excellence costs, but excellence take you a long ways. You're going to have a business. Don't you be sitting there being late all the time and talking about it's my business I can open up. Be excellent with your time. See that? Be excellent in customer service. I know sometimes customers can get on your nerve. I know. But be excellent in customer service. Be excellent. And excellent comes from the word excel. To go high as you can go. It costs to be excellent. But excellence will take you a long ways. And excellence is deeper. God bless you. Is deeper than just having everything looking good. Now, that is excellence. Excellence strives at different levels. One of the greatest realm of excellency is functionality. Function, the way something functions. That's why you have to understand the philosophy of how to build your business, build your ministry. See what I'm saying? You just can't take for granted, See, and a lot of people in church have that mentality, and they don't want to spend money to market. They don't want to spend money. They don't want to budget money. They want to waste money. But a church pretty much has to be ran pretty much like a business. Y'all see that? In the same aspect. All these, they have different components. You need marketing because you're out to reach a market of people. You want some people to come in and buy into your message, whether you're preaching salvation, healing, whether you're preaching empowerment, whatever it is. You have to see it and you have to embrace it like a business. I hope somebody hear me. I say you have to embrace it like a business. So now, because you want to add some attraction to what you do. You want people to be drawn to what you do. See what I'm saying? And then marketing, people got to know what you're doing. You can be the best cook down on so-and-so street. But if you don't do no marketing and nobody know, you're just going to be another good cook with some good food down there. Nobody's buying. And it's not that because the food's not good. It's simple that you have not marketed. Marketing means that I'm using a technique to reach a certain level of people. People that's going to buy into what I'm doing. People that's going to buy my food. People that's going to buy my products. People that's going to buy. See what I'm saying? Going to buy into the message of Jesus being preached. Buy into it. I'm not talking about paying for money for it. I'm talking about accepting it. When people buy into something, they accept it. Most of you going to have to understand that all of us are salesmen. That's why you got to be valuable. You got to add value to your life. All of us are salesmen. I don't care what you say. Everybody is salesmen because you're trying to get somebody to buy into something you're doing. Even if you're trying to get a job, you got to sell your personality to the interviewer. Do this make sense? You're selling a product. You got to sell you first. They have to buy into you. Do y'all hear me? I said they have to buy into you. So now, what happens is that, just as I teach, I want you to buy into what I'm teaching. I want you to accept it. That's all it means. I want your life to change. I want your finances to change. I want your understanding of the kingdom of God to change. I want you to be successful. I want you to succeed in everything that you do, and there ain't no reason that you can't. Now, if you make the right investments, sooner or later, I'll be coming to different places, and I'm going to be doing a whole lot of these presentations live, because I believe, there were some things that I am believing God for, and there are some things I'm believing God to accomplish. Let me share some with you here. It is time to be empowered like never before. A lot of y'all been shouting and jumping in church, but that ain't really gotten it. Because to advance the kingdom, we need to advance it in the earth. It has to be effective, and it has to become attractive that people will accept it. People buy into things that are attractive. Am I talking right? Yeah. They buy into things that are attractive. Now, I want you to understand something today, that in spite of how much failure you have had, I don't care. I don't care how much failure you had. I don't care. You don't need to fear failure. You don't need to fear failure. Do y'all hear me? I said you don't need to fear failure. When you fear failure, failure is not as bad as you think it is. One thing, number one, I like about failure is that at least it shows an attempt that a person tried. You got people sitting on their butt, won't do nothing but criticize everybody, or see they failed. But they haven't even tried. They have not tried to move forward. Do y'all hear me? So failure is an indication that I tried. But failure is success turned around. So in failure, I understand where I went wrong, what I didn't do right, and I capitalize. In other words, it makes me better if I let it. Now, if I'm a knucklehead and just keep doing the same stupid stuff and ain't trying to change, well, we got a problem there. Do y'all see that? Now, I want everybody out there to really understand, as I teach this here, I believe that failure will allow you to grow. And all of us have failed in something. If you ain't failed, you probably going to fall in something. But can I tell you something about failure? Fall forward. If you're going to fall forward. And get up and realize what I did wrong and keep running. Do y'all see that? Fall forward. Don't stop. Don't quit. That's why even it pays to have somebody that can help you. When you fall, help you get up. The best one to help you get up is God. A righteous man falls 7 times, but the Lord will uphold him with his hand. Do y'all see that right there? Oh my goodness. Now, failure in business, failure in ministry, I've had all of it. I had all kind of failure. Failure in marriage, I've had failure in finance. You talk about failure, I've had it, I've been there, done that, got t-shirts, don't want no more. But I learned something through the failures and different things. I finally, just started understanding something. One of the things I learned is not to be so tunnel vision that you don't have a peripheral insight. Can I say it again? That be so tunnel vision that you don't have a peripheral insight. See, the word tunnel, it means like a tunnel. You can see straight ahead, but you can't see the sides. Some things you have to keep a tunnel vision. Don't get me wrong. But then also the word peripheral means the outer bands of my sight. On the left, on the right. See what peripheral does, it helps me to see these here. But I might not put all my focus, but yet I know this there. Sometimes when you're ambitious and you're trying to really become the next big businessman, next big, your peripheral, your family, your kids and different things are there that you really should be paying attention to too. But you're so tunnel vision on what you see ahead of you. You're trying to become, the next big thing, and then you lose sight on this on this peripheral. When you lose that, you lose sight of your marriage, lose sight. Some people lose sight of their health and everything else. They forget all about what they're supposed to be doing for their body because they're so absorbed with what they see in front of them. Now, I know that we're supposed to have the law of focus. we are supposed to focus on. See what I'm saying? There's things that we are supposed to focus on, yes. But at the same time, we can't afford peripheral to lose sight around us with the other things. Do y'all see that? See, that's how some traveling pastors do. They lose sight of their ministry and they put their focus on all their traveling. Well, you got to keep a focus on, if God put you over some people, you got to keep a focus on them too. Now, that's going to take what you call management. See? Now, here's another way that you become very valuable. See, when you understand the law of focus and you understand that's well. And I got to keep on that, but I got to understand the law of peripheralness. I've got to be able to look at other things around me that are important too. See, yes, I'm trying to make money to take care of my wife, my kids, and my whatever else, my dog, my cat. But in the same token, I can't neglect them by just being so tunnel on the money I'm trying to make. I can't get so tunnel vision until I lose all pleasure of life. Don't even want to live no more. Don't want to enjoy life no more. Do y'all see that? Don't want to enjoy life no more. Don't want to take vacations. I heard one pastor told me, he said, man, I hadn't took a vacation. Me and my wife never took. We've been married over 10 years. I said, bro, it's time to take one. Because see, sometimes vacations will help you, relieve yourself of stress and give you time to step back to think about things. Because sometimes people can't think about things because, you know why? Because of the fact that they're so focused. See that? And they're so focused on that. And so what a vacation would do, it'll give you a recess. It'll give you time to reset yourself. Think about what you need to do. Think the areas what you are neglecting. Y'all see that? And at the same time, it'll take stress off you. There's nothing wrong with a good vacation. Now, see what I'm saying? You go down, you go somewhere, you ain't necessarily got to take your laptop and all that stuff with you. You ain't got to take work with you. Unless it's one of them kind of vacations you want to do, that's fine. Because maybe you might have a better chance to think then. So now, you cannot allow your life to be, because you're going to be valuable. You can't let your life be crowded out with unnecessary things. It is said that most people major in the minors. Things that are not really all that important. And that's the stuff that you tend to give attention to. Now, if you're going to add value to yourself, you got to pay attention to the major. The major is what's going to help you get to where you need to get to. The minor, yeah, them are things that you really don't have to focus on or even think about. Do y'all see that? Yeah. I mean, they're just minor things. And some people get caught up in so much minor stuff. Do you know that's why a lot of people have bad arguments? Because they're majoring in the minors. Sometimes they're arguing over stuff that ain't even important. And then sometimes both people arguing, both of them is right. They just got the wrong attitude. And don't know how to present their information to each other. Now, one of the things that I always want you to understand, that you got to be, that you got to make yourself valuable. You got to make people want to be a part of what you're doing. Now, how I make my businesses and everything, desirable through the spirit of excellence. That's why I've been working at getting my programs up, better lighting and everything. Because as I project them to YouTube, I want people to listen as they Google my name, as they hit Eddie Tate, the law of, thinking, the law of, I had put some on that, the lighting wasn't proper, so I had to buy a light. I had to buy something. It cost me money, but guess what? It'll help me in the long run. Because I want my products to be excellent. You should want your products to be excellent. You might have to buy a bigger sign for your business. Oh, that's going to cost me a lot of money. Well, a sign advertises even when you're not open. Do this make sense? I said a sign. It operates even when you're not open. That's why I tell most churches, you need a sign out front of this church. Because you don't know, Ned the wino might be running around drunk 3 o'clock in the morning. Look up at that sign lit up, say, I'm coming to this church in the morning. He show up at church, and you ask him, how did you find out? Well, I was walking and I saw this sign. See, there has to be signs that people can read, even about your business, about your life. See that? There has to be signs that people can read. Signs. They got to be able to read your life, and they got to see your life. They got to see signs. Signs will make them wonder even. See that? Signs will make them wonder. But when people ain't practicing excellence, they don't have no sign. I've seen churches ain't got no sign. I've seen business no sign. How does somebody gonna know you're there? See that? Well, we don't want to pay the fee for the sign to be put up out there. It's gonna cost a fee. So what? Pay it. Quit being cheap. You cannot afford to be cheap in business or ministry, your career, whatever you do. You can't afford to be cheap. See that? You got any kind of, you're an entrepreneur and you got business, you can't afford to be cheap with it. Buy the best microphones. Buy the best lightings. Buy the best everything that you're going to need. If you have a podcast and you speak to people like I'm speaking, pretty soon I'm going to bump this up even more. In my studio. All the podcast mics and everything, because I'm going to have guests on that can even bring more insight. Because I like talking to people that have achieved more than me. I like talking to people that have achieved and is going that same areas I'm going. I like having friends like that. See? And I like hanging out with folks like that. So somebody say, I can't, well, people ain't gonna like me. You know what? You see people doing seminars, teaching things, writing books, you become a part of it. Hang out with them. Find out what it took for them to get to where they're going to. I read all type of autobiographies. I read about Henry Ford, Mr. Honda, Colonel Sam, all J.C. Penney's. I read a lot of, autobiographies. I read Malcolm X and all his, things he went through to become who he was. Dr. Martin Luther King. I read all kind of autobiographies. Catherine Kuhlman. Yeah, I read autobiographies. You know why? Because I want to know. I want to learn from these people. And many of them will teach you so you ain't got to make the mistakes they made. That's why you think Kenneth Hagin and Oral Robertson open up them schools. Rhema and ORU. Why you think they'll, so that they can teach you so you ain't got to put as many knots on your head as they did. The Bible said a wise man will hear and increase learning, but a fool is not so. People always say, well, experience is the best teacher. I beg the difference. Experience is not the best teacher. It's a good one, but listening is the best one. See? There's some things I wish I'd listened to what my father told me. Yeah. Let me tell you. See, one of the things I found out in this journey that I've been on and success, I've had so many failures and pitfalls. I want what you call now a fail-proof life. A life that don't fail. To do that, I got to add value to myself. I've got to be more observant. I got to be watchful. Even in the Bible, Jesus told the disciples, watch as well as pray. You got folks praying, running down the aisle in armored fatigue seats, and the devil walked right in the church and sat down across his legs. Folk up shouting. I remember one time that people were shouting and dancing. A thief, they had their purses on pews, and they had all their eyes closed, shouting and dancing, running all over the place. And turned around, the devil sent a thief in there and started picking up purses and stuff. They came to out doing their eyes open and all their purses were gone. One of my friends, a prophet, he said, I got a revelation. Somebody going to have to keep their eyes open. Y'all see that? See, somebody got to keep their eyes open. You may as well be you. You got to be watchful. I say you have to be watchful. You have to learn how to keep your eyes open. Now, I want you to understand that you're going to have to keep your eyes on yourself. Get your eyes off of. See, so I'm trying to make me valuable. I'm trying to change the way I do things. Make yourself valuable. Invest in your health. This body is the vehicle you got to get through this life. And it gets too far broke down, it can't be used no more. You don't want to get so far, that, see, I tell a lot of people, just do something. Get up, take a walk around the block, stretch. Do something every day, if it's some mild. Keep your body in tune. Invest in your body. Put the right food in there. Remember, you add value to your body. You add value. You just put water in there. Put rest in there. Lay down and quit worrying about all that stuff that you can't change. Y'all see that? Lay down. Now, and then I have to understand the art of self-discipline. I've got to get to a place to where if I'm going to add value, that should have been my number one principle, but self-discipline. Self-discipline is the master key. Y'all see that? And through self-discipline, I can basically do anything that I want to do. Y'all see that? Yeah. I can do anything I want. Self-discipline. It is the ability to make myself do those things that I know I need. Make myself. Not moving according to feelings. Well, I don't really feel like that today. But if I know I need to do it, if I need to finish a book, if I know that I have an event coming up and I have to get ready, got to prepare for it, I don't care how I feel. I'm looking at the outcome after I do this thing. See that? I want y'all to really understand me today. And get this here. See, everything that we do, we should do things that add value to us. Because now, if I'm going to add value to a company, I got to first make sure I'm changed. I got to make sure my habits are right. I got to make sure this procrastinative nature is not on me. I got to make sure I'm not lazy. I got to make sure that I use my head and learn how to think. And learn how to create. See, when you're in business, you have to create your own stuff. You working for somebody else, well, you going about already plan that has already been created for you to walk in. But it's a different thing than when you have to create. When you got to create it. Now, you have to create the plan for your business. You have to create it. You're not on the job now. So you have to create a marketing plan. See? You have to create a marketing plan. You have to create a way of people's going to get to your business, going to know who you are and know what you're about. And then, on top of that, you cannot afford to be giving out false advertisement. I tell churches, if you're not feeding the community, don't put that lie out there on your resume. Because you might find people that's coming there because they need assistance. See, or if you don't go out and give blankets and feed the hungry, don't put that on there. Be honest and be truthful what your ministry is all about. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Be honest of what your ministry is all about. And don't, be honest. See that? Don't get into false advertisement. Now, my thing is, as I am a success coach, teacher, I'm an apostle and a prophet, so we bring insights of the kingdom of God too. But the thing about it is that also I have to be aware of my own self. There's areas that I'm trying to do. There's things I'm trying to do. I've not made it to a lot of the areas. Sometimes in your walk, there's going to be things you have not done, but there's going to be things you're going to teach. And the more you teach it, the more it's going to come up on you. The more you're going to walk into it. See, the more I help people get into their things, God is going to help me get into where I need to get to. He says, sow the word into my people. Give them the word. Give them the knowledge. I've put the knowledge in you. I've put it there. I put the impartation into you. Now, many of you, if you don't use these principles, it's not on me. It's not on me. If I tell you you need to change yourself, If I tell you to add value to yourself, you got to start reading. You got to start looking at seminars. You got to start going to seminars. Yeah, I know you think, oh, that's just too much. No, it's not too much, because all you want to do is sit around and watch Netflix and watch sports. And them folks are already rich. You're trying to get to a place where you can take care of yourself without being a slave for somebody else all the rest of your life. Now, I know there's times you might have to work. There's nothing wrong with working. I'm not putting work down. I'm not putting work down, working down. And working is a good thing if you have to do it. It's a great thing. Y'all see that? I'm not putting it down. But what I'm saying is here is, it come a time, though, that you got to start working on yourself harder than you working on somebody's job. If you start working on yourself, start working on your eating habits. Start working on your habits of keeping stress off you. Start working on your relationship skills. I'm saying, I want to get married. But what are your relationship skills like? Are you short-fused? Short-tempered? Do you shut down and don't want to talk? Do you know how to present a point to somebody? What is your skills like? What is your communication skills like? Or do you do unloading and explosive, what you call exploding on people? Can you sit down and have a decent conversation and talk to somebody and relay a point? Not in fire, but I'm talking about in peace. So where's your relationship skills at? See, because you got to let people know what you want, and they got to let you know what they want or need. Now, I'm just using that as an example. You know, you just look at the part of romance and walking down the beach and feeling all good. I'm telling you something, there's going to be some days you ain't going to feel good. There might be some days that the devil gonna try to make both y'all mad at each other, and you ain't want to see her, and you ain't want to see him. But you have to plow through that. See, I know what I'm talking about. So now, are you always out trying to prove a point? Are you adding value to you? Are you adding value? Are you building yourself? Are you listening to seminars that help you in marriage now? Don't wait till you get married. Start listening to them now. Start reading books now. Even in business. Come on, I want a business. Where's your skills? How much sacrifice do you have in you? How much discipline do you have in you? See, all this adds value. When you make yourself a valuable person, you become valuable to the market. What is the market? The market is the buyers of people that you're trying to get. Like when you go to a supermarket, what are you going there? You're going there to buy products. You might need hot dogs, you might need chili, whatever you might need. But the market has it. And you got the money, and you go buy what you need to buy out the market. See, a lot of you gonna have to understand how to become entrepreneurs, and you're gonna have to get to the market. You got to take your products to the market. Your product, your brand could be you. You got to sell you first, and then whatever it is that you're trying to sell, people are buying to it because of your personality. Y'all see that? Or they're buying to it because of your marketing, your approach of how you expose it to people. Some people expose it funny, humor. You see Geico, they use all kind of funny stuff to sell their products. Some people have serious ads. What are you going to do to sell your product? You're a product. I keep telling you, you're a brand. You got to become the brand of your company. You have to become known in certain aspects, in certain ways. You have to become the brand of your company. Isn't that something? You got to become the brand of your company. I submit to you today that people are going to grade you on how well you're able to present something, and they want to know whether you believe in it or not. Do that make sense? See, a lot of people sell stuff, but they don't believe it themselves. Believe in it themselves. Yeah. I wouldn't endorse no products. I used to sell a line of products called Southern Heritage. They worked. I used them. They worked good on my body. Actually, the SBA, whatever it is, the FDA, Food Drug Administration, they banned it because it worked. It was natural. They ban anything that's natural and it works. They just want to keep pushing drugs or stuff that don't work. You call it natural, but it don't work. Anything that works, they want to ban it. But I used to sell these products. I believed in the product because I used the product. What I'm teaching you, I've used this. I use this. I'm bringing value to myself every day. I'm upgrading myself every day. I'm training my mind every day. I'm learning about the stock market, real estate, all kind of stuff every day. Ministry. I'm learning. I'm getting more skill. Let me talk about that. If you want to add value to yourself, you got to add skill. You must add skill. Y'all see that? Skill to your craft. Skill to what you do. You got to become a skilled salesman. If you go in sales, you work for a company, you got to become skilled. You got to understand, study all the in and outs of sales. And you got to apply the principle. Y'all see that? So, now what I submit to you today, you got to become skillful in what you do. In other words, you got to perfect what you do. If you're selling, if you are a speaker, if you are an entrepreneur, if you have a job and you got to bring value to you, and the more value you bring to you, the more value you'll bring to that company. Because when you bring value to you, you know what happens? You stop taking them long coffee breaks. Stop being late. You actually go to work and not sit around and hee-haw and have fun. See, then that's when promotion comes. That's why I'm going to be faithful to this here little podcast that I do. I'm going to be faithful this here. I ain't calling it little. This is big. I'm going to be faithful to this program. I'm going to keep speaking into the lives of people. Because I want you to understand something. You have to be consistent. That's another way of adding value. Making yourself a valuable person by being consistent. Persistent. Not stopping, not quitting, not giving up. Some people, the devil blow on folks. And then all of a sudden, then they don't, he ain't coming back to, I ain't preaching no more. No, man, you got to understand this here. You're going to have adversity. Jesus said in the world, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have trouble in the world. You're going to have trouble. You're going to have trouble. Ain't no sense of, this is a easy walk. In business, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have trials and tribulations. There's times that you're going to have to, nobody going to know how bad you getting along. They ain't going to know how bad you having it. But you got to keep a smile on your face and keep pushing. You're going to be going to some of the worst thing in your life, but you can't quit. Because if you quit, the company will never get to where it needs to get to. The ministry will never get to where it needs to. Your career, I'm quitting this old job. I'm tired. But you'll never get to where you're going to get to being a quitter. You got to add value. You're there to add value to people. Do y'all hear me? I said you're there to add value. I just want you to understand this here. You're going to have to be a mentally tough person. You got to grow some thicker skin. You have to be able to take something. If you're going to be a valuable person, you got to go through the storms. You got to go. You go on your way to doing something and right in the middle, just like with Jesus now, a storm brew up right in the middle. But you can't let the storm stop you. You got to speak to the storm and tell the storm, no, you're not stopping me. I'm getting to the other side. I'm getting to my destiny. I'm getting to where my company is going to get to the other side. My church is going to get to the other side. My career is getting to the other side. My business is going to get to the other side. I'm getting to the other side. I'm getting my health to the other side. I'm not going to give up. I'm taking care of myself. I might be hurting, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep putting good stuff in my body. My body's going to heal. Shatalabosha. Y'all see that? Oh, I'm telling y'all. You got to add value to yourself. Make yourself better. Improve you. Improve yourself. Go to the seminars. When you're in church, get your pad out. Write the notes down. Listen to the sermon. Write the notes down. See? Go. Take the course. Make yourself better. Enhance yourself. Get around the right people. Enhance yourself. Y'all see that? Get around the right people. He that walk with wise men shall be wise, but companion of fools shall be destroyed. Get the fools out your life. Get mediocrity out your life. You're not to be mediocre. You are to be above average. Ain't nothing average about you or the God you serve. Y'all see that? You know? I want y'all to catch this today. I want y'all to get this tonight. I want you to get this. See, you are on the verge of great things. And even someone watching this on YouTube right now, you're on the verge of great things. Somebody watching this on Facebook Live, you're on the verge of great things. And I want you to understand that greatness lives in you. But you got to stay, as my brother Les Brown said, you got to stay hungry though. You got to keep hunger in you. See, when you stay hungry, that means that you got a constant drive for success, to succeed in what you're doing. You're going to continue. You're not going to give up. You're going to be faithful in the principles. You ain't got to feel like doing the principles. You're going to do the principles, whether you do feel like it or not, until them principles become a part of you, till they become automated. Till they become automated. Y'all hear me? Until they become a part of you. Do this make sense? I submit to you today that where you're going is a great place, but it's going to take the greatness to come up out of you. It's going to take the greatness to come up out of you. It's going to take the greatness to come up out of you. Some of y'all be watching this here on YouTube. You might want to watch me on Facebook a lot because I minister prophetically to people. See? And I just want y'all to be aware that you got to bring value to you. Value to you. You got to make yourself valuable. Become an asset to your company, an asset to your church. Even if you're a parishioner in the church, remember, make yourself valuable. Be liquid. Wherever, if they need to pour you here, pour you there, be able to be put wherever you need to be put, and especially where God put you. Be multifaceted. Don't be limited. Do y'all see that? So that's what I want y'all to understand tonight. You know, it's an awesome thing. And I want y'all to understand tonight. As I'm ministering to some of you tonight. Oh, I feel the Holy Spirit. Yes, I do. I feel the Holy Spirit. See, some people can't stay doing the teaching. They got to jump on. They got to jump off. I'm looking for y'all that can stay doing the teaching, can sit down. Maybe they jump and taking care of their ribs and all that. But I submit to you that this is very important, that you improve yourself, that you make yourself to become the person that you need to become. Y'all see that? You make yourself through the principles. Do what it's going to take. Get in the environments you need to get in. Y'all hear me? You know what you're trying to do. Get around the people that's going to help you go to the next level. Get around the environments that's going to help you, to add more value to you. You are valuable, but you want to add even more value in your habits and all that you do. Do y'all hear me? And I want each one of y'all out there today to understand that there is a way to make yourself better. Yes, to make yourself better. Oh, yes. Denise, don't worry about it. God is taking care of it right now. And there's things that God is doing, and God's going to show you how to do it. He's going to give you instructions. Because I told you, you're an entrepreneur. And God is calling you into your own, into greatness. And I hear God say, don't wear yourself down with people. You can't change folks, and don't try it. He said, just be patient. I have all things that I have to reward you with. And I am doing a new thing in your finance, but I want you to get to the place to start developing your writing skills, developing your communication skills, because you're getting ready to meet a lot of people that you have never met before, Denise. And God is getting ready to anchor you into success. Yes, you're going to succeed. You're not going to sit on these programs and not take heed to these principles. I'm giving impartation as well as information. See, this ain't just information. I got a different type of format. But that's impartation. Impartation is when somebody gives you what's inside of them. I'm giving you the anointing as well. I'm a kingdom success coach. Yes, I am a kingdom success coach. A kingdom motivated teacher, speaker, kingdom revivalist. Yes, I wear a lot of hats. Anything that I do is attached to kingdom. I'm a kingdom businessman. That's why God gives me instructions and shows me what to do. Because, Anita, God told me to tell you, lift your head up. It is time now. He said, I'm going to lift you into a place where you've never been before. And nothing is going to be impossible. He said there's a breakthrough today. And all the stuff that the enemy fight, he said you stay consistent. Just stay consistent. Just stay consistent. There's a breakthrough for you and your family. Thank you, Lord. Who else is on here? Who else is on here? I need to know. And you better send me amen quickly. I want to ask everyone that can sow a seed. Sow a seed. Sow a seed into the ministry. Sow a seed. I'm asking everyone who can today. If you can do whatever you can do, I want you to sow a seed. Sow whatever you can sow today. Sow whatever you can sow. Some people, they come on, they know they need to sow something. So if you watch this after hours and God leads your heart to sow, sometimes God ain't got to lead you, so just sow. God bless you, my sister, Angela. Angela, God told me to tell you, he said, get ready because all the heaviness is being removed. And the Lord said that there's a breakthrough today. Now I hear God said a new direction is coming on, and God is taking you into a whole new direction in some areas. He said because there's some paperwork and some things going to have to be dealt with. He said, I'm going to rearrange some financial figures and things are going to work for you and Kenny. Things are going to work out. And I heard God say this. He said that I will put you in a place to where you can't put yourself, and I will do things for you that you can't do for yourself. And I hear God saying that everything that the devil meant for evil, God's turning around for the good. And my sister, God said, get ready. Because you're about to explore some areas of life that you never explored. As you begin to work on yourself and prove yourself the more. Because I see some writing coming out of you. See you writing some things. And it might form into a book. God said, get ready for uncharted waters, uncharted territories. You're getting ready to go somewhere where you've never been. In Jesus' name. Thank you, Lord. Praise God. Amen. Anybody else on here? Anybody else I have ministered to? Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Nothing. Father, I want to thank you tonight for all of those that have been on here, and maybe those that have been watching by the way of YouTube or Facebook Live, that will watch this program again. I pray that you touch their heart, that you touch them. And Lord God, that you move in an extraordinary way, in a way that only you can move. And Lord, I thank you. I thank you now for your anointing and your very presence. So we give you the praise in Jesus' name. All right, God bless y'all. It's been great tonight. And I look to see y'all tomorrow. All right. Yes. Thank you, Jesus. All right. We thank you in Jesus' name. All right, need God said it's done. Yes. Amen. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Father. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Yes, Lord. All right. God bless y'all. All right. Bless y'all in Jesus' name.